Hi guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. If you've not been here before, I'm Maria, and if you have been here before, hi. Today I'm looking at showing you how I made the most beautiful chicken wraps. This is quite spicy, but you can tone it down if you don't like spice. Dead easy, and something you can just rustle up when you get home from work, or you can actually leave the chicken to marinate in the fridge during the day and just take it out when you get home. So it's really quick and simple. So what did I do? Let me show you. Right, so in this bag here I've got 4 chicken thighs, and I'm just showing for demonstration purpose. I cracked an egg in there. I did it and forgot to video it, so I'm sorry about that. Now all I'm going to do is just make sure that the egg is actually covered all over the thighs. So I didn't sort of whip the egg, I just put it straight into this bag as it came out the shell and just used my hands to break it up within the bag. Okay, now I'm going to start adding some spices into this. So the first spice I'm going to add into here is some ground cumin. Okay, and then I'm going to add a teaspoon of chili powder, and again you can tone this chili powder down if you want to, or you can have it as hot as you want. Okay, so I'm going to put a good teaspoon in because we don't mind a bit of heat. And then a teaspoon of ground coriander is going to go in here as well. So just going to pop it all in. As I said, not mixing this beforehand, I'm just popping it all in the bag. And then what I'm going to do is just literally using the bag, give it a really good massage. Now obviously with raw chicken you don't want it on your hands unless you wash them properly afterwards. So doing it this way just means that you can really get into the chicken thighs and massage them and try and get as much of the spice as possible. I'm just giving it a really good squidge. Now it doesn't obviously all cover 100%, so what I am going to do is tip it into the bowl that I've got there, and that's just the bowl that I had the chicken defrosting on, so I didn't want to make myself any more washing up than I need to. So I'm just going to pop it in, but I'm going to use the bag as like a glove. So I don't have to touch the meat, not because I don't want to, I don't mind touching chicken meat, it's just it gets all in your hands, and yeah, and although I do wash it, I think this is more hygienic. And also, especially if you're using turmeric, and here's a warning there, I'm not in this recipe, but you can, if you use turmeric and use your hand, you end up with very orange hands, and it's all in your nails, and it's a nightmare to get off, I can promise you. So I'm just going to give this a little bit of a massage. Now the other day, I don't know if you saw one of my recipes where I used bread to make some pies, and I cut all the crusts off and the extras. So this is the actual breadcrumbs from that recipe, which I just whizzed up and popped in the freezer, and it keeps for ages. This is your healthy extra B, so don't forget to make sure you count it. And I've just poured it over the chicken and just put the lid on and given a really good shake. Again, just saves me having to use my fingers. Don't need to do that at all. So I'm just going to give it a really good shake and make sure as much of the meat is coated. I'm going to add a bit more on in a minute because obviously this is the first layer. With the egg there, I want to make sure it all sticks together. So if you put too much on in the very beginning, it doesn't tend to work as well, I promise. Yeah, you can see I'm not weighing this out, but the whole of that pot was for hubby and I, one healthy extra. This actually makes for 4 people, so it's well within. But if you are being very strict with yourself, then just make sure you do weigh your breadcrumbs before you put it in. So I'm just shaking it all about, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually leaving this in the fridge for a couple of hours just so that the marinade fuses. Okay, right, so now I'm going to heat my Berghoff pan. Again, no oil needed in these pans, which is absolutely brilliant. So I'm just going to get it hot, and then I'm going to pop my chicken into the pan. So as you can see, it's nicely coated with the seasoning and the crumbs. Now these crumbs, it's not like a real thick coating, because again, you know, if you're counting your syns and sort of your healthy extras, you can end up using a lot of breadcrumbs and a lot of your healthy extra B, which you might not want to do. Now just popping these 4 thighs in. Now I'm using thighs again, and I did this the other day in my other recipe, you'll notice, because with the thighs they are more moist, so you don't have to worry about them drying out. With chicken as well, I like to make sure it's well cooked so that it doesn't give you salmonella. So I'm just going to pop these in, and I'm just going to leave this to cook now, so the chicken cooks nicely. And then once it's browned on the one side and cooked through that side, I will flip it over and cook it on the other side. Right, so when the chicken's cooked, just take it out and then just slice it up into probably about, I don't know, a couple of centimetres thick slices. Now this is just slightly undercooked, but it doesn't matter, because what I'm going to do is pop this back into the pan, because I want to make sure it's all crisped off. So if it is just slightly undercooked, it's not the end of the world. I definitely wouldn't be serving it this pink, guys. Okay, it is back in the pan. And I'm just going to leave that now to make sure that chicken's cooked through, but also gets all the sides of it now crispy. If I hadn't put it back in the pan, obviously you're going to have the soft bits, which is fine, that's how you like it, but for this dinner I do want to have it crispy all over. Okay, so just leave it till it starts to cook and gets crispy, and then once you're very happy, we can start building the wrap. Right, so you're going to need 2 of the Weight Watchers wraps, 1 each. So one for me, 1 for hubby, and just place in the chicken. We like a lot of chicken. Now you're not going to be able to roll this, guys, because it's just too much filling. It's more like a taco than a fajita, if I'm honest. But just add in as much chicken. As I said, this dish makes for 4 people, and it is really, really filling, and the flavours are just immense. It's just really nice. Using my Healthy Extra A, I'm grating cheese, and as always I've grated it on the thinnest grate because it makes it look like I've got more cheese than I actually have. I had weighed this out and we didn't even use 1 Healthy Extra A between the 2 of us. A teaspoon of guacamole each, and it is a heaped teaspoon, so I class it as a tablespoon. Again, you have to sin that, guys, so make sure you do. And a little bit of sour cream on top just actually makes the difference. It is, oh, it is so lovely. Now, to serve this, I had some leftover rice from the other day, and I thought, well, what can I do with this rice? And I've decided that I was going to use it today with also a little bit of leftover broccoli as well. So I'm just popping all this together in the tacos because I want to make room for that rice dish on my plate as well. The rice dish itself is free of syns. So all I literally did was took the boiled rice that I had and the broccoli, I chopped it all up, well, the broccoli I chopped up, put it into a pan, cooked that off, added some sweet corn to it for extra vegetables, and that is it. That was as simple as it got, but it was just something extra to have with the dish, and I think it worked really, really well. So this really was quite a quick dish to make, especially as the rice was already cooked. So absolutely scrummy, and here it is. So what did you think? Really, really quick video, guys, I know, but that chicken was lovely. And I don't know if you've noticed a theme recently with my meals, but I'm really enjoying showing people how you can make just your standard ingredients. And you know, chicken thighs is quite standard. It's quite a cheap meat as well, much cheaper than the breast. But by just adding a few herbs or spices, or just doing something slightly different with it, like my leftover breadcrumbs, you can make a really tasty meal. And my hubby really, really enjoyed that. So, and I hope you did too, guys. So if you did, don't forget to subscribe, click notifications, and give me a thumbs up. Alright, guys, and if you do try any of my recipes, please put some photographs on and comment below so I can see what you do. Alright, so I will catch you on my next video. Have a good week, and I'll see you soon. Bye.